I'm fascinated with the British Open because you don't get to see these courses on a yearly basis. Having been to Scotland, having been to Ireland, I have not played Muirfield, but it's an experience though that you may not want to do it every day or every month. Plus, if you get in those bunkers, and just the conditions are the conditions. They don't try to manicure like we have all of our golf courses here. And I think some of these golfers a little bit upset with speed of the fairways and speed of the greens, and they didn't expect this kind of weather. Wind's blowing, you got sun out there, and they're holding on for dear life. Rich Lerner, the great host for the Golf Channel, joining us from Muirfield. Is weather an issue again today, Rich?
Good afternoon, Dan.
Hi, bud.
It very much is an issue. I've seen Scots with tans. You don't see Scots, your ordinary Scot, with a tan. You see Scots who are rusted, but not with tans. And this is a whole different summer over here. It's the hot, dry summer of Scotland. And, yeah, weather is definitely an issue. And I think by the end of this day, Tiger has a chance to be sitting on the lead or a share of the lead with Stenson and Westwood at 2 under par. It is that glassy. It is that slick out there.
Okay, how would this be different if it wasn't the wind or these kind of weather conditions here with this course?
I mean, if it was a little softer, you could get double digits under par as a winning score. That's the thing, and you alluded to it. They don't manufacture a winning score here. This is Mother Nature's Open, and what Mother Nature has given the players this week is firm and fast, bouncy, dry, fiery, and that's what it is. And you have hip-high fescue. I mean, some of this fescue's taller than Nate Robinson, for goodness sakes. And the golf course is a mix of pale yellow, dirt brown, little specks of red. It's absolutely on fire right now, and you just have to account for it. It has the players on the defensive, no question. This is very much a grindy major championship. Tiger has grinded his rear end off for 2 days. This is a make a 5-footer, make a 7-footer, make an 8-footer for par kind of a major championship, and I frankly think those are compelling. This is not a week where you can come in and swing away. You'll pay a steep price, and you have to plot your way around. It's going to ask everything of the eventual winner.
Ian Poulter tweeted that the 18th hole needs a windmill and a clown's nose.
That's Poulter. I mean, I like Ian, but I mean, he does nothing but tweet, for goodness sakes. I mean, he's selling sweaters and trousers, and I don't know when he has time to hit golf balls and play in tournaments because he's constantly tweeting. I didn't think it was unfair. It was hard, and it approached the line, the edge, but I don't think it was unfair. Again, this is what the weather has dictated, and it was a little dicey out there, and it got treacherous toward the end of the day, and I think it will again. But put your ball in the right place, and you'll avoid a huge number.
Talking to Rich Lerner, Golf Channel host, joining us from Muirfield, day 2 of the Open, Dan Patrick Show. Tiger seemed like he was in good spirits after the round. Shoot even par. He probably felt like that's probably 2 or 3 under par.
Yeah, he was thrilled, Dan, to get out. You could see it, that birdie putt at 18. He knew it, needed it, wanted it, thrilled to get out, even par and 2 under for the championship. And this is sort of the Tiger we've seen in his halcyon days, making all of the 6-7 footers that you need to make. Though he did miss a couple of bunnies for par, but on the whole, he's putted really well. And we've been here in the last 10 majors or so with Tiger, where he's clean through 36 holes. He's in position. It's the weekend that's been the issue. In his last 10 major championships, he's had only 3 subpar rounds on Saturday, Sunday. So before we anoint Tiger, we need to wait. This is a different era now. This is not the Tiger who bludgeons people and is just so clearly dominant. This is a Tiger who plays sort of a different game.
What about Rory?
He spars a little bit more. Yeah, Rory, I mean, he's lost, Dan. I don't know how else to say it. The battery's dead. He steps on the accelerator. There's nothing there. And I think it's always a risk when you change equipment when you are at the very top of your game. I mean, he was unstoppable last year. He'd won 4 tournaments late, 2 in a row, won the PGA by 8, and then he changed equipment. I'm not suggesting that you or I or any other player would turn down the kind of money that Nike threw at him, but it is a risk, and I think he felt the pressure to perform. I don't think he's handled it well. He's a nice young guy. I mean, everybody likes Rory. He's honest. He stood up to the press yesterday and admitted that he doesn't really have a clue at this point. I think with Rory, when he's on, he's as good as there is. We've seen that running away at the U.S. Open by 8 and then the PGA, but he doesn't have what Tiger has. He doesn't have that fight, that ability to make do with less than your best. And he'll work his way out of this at some point, but this has really been a lost season for Rory, and I don't think anybody saw that coming based on the way he played, how well he played the second half of last year.
Is this more about changing equipment, or is it being in love, as Johnny Miller alluded to?
I mean, I don't know what 24-year-old, 23-year-old wasn't in love. Some are in love for longer periods. Some fall in love every 3 days. I mean, he's 24. I don't know that has anything to do with it. I mean, I think this is just mental. I think this probably has something to do with the equipment and trying to deliver on that $150, $200 million deal that he signed with Nike. I personally, it's just me, I didn't love the move. I'm okay taking the money, but I thought Rory should have staked his own claim as opposed to sort of marrying his brand to Tiger's. I just didn't think that he needed to do that. I would have gone another way, but that's another argument. So he's wrapped up in knots right now. I think Peter Alice made a good point. This is just like the baseball player. This is like a Pujols has just gone into a deep slump, and he can't find the baseball. Something along those lines. Great player who's just in a funk.
Good to visit with you. Great coverage over there. Thanks for joining us, Rich.
Anytime, Dan. Take care.
All right. Rich Lerner, Golf Channel.